Act 3, The Guide. Aurelio's return to Talion's sanctuary felt different this time, as if he crossed the threshold into a world imbued with more profound meaning. Zana's heart dropped with the vivacious life. Artisans and scholars coexisting with their extraordinary works, starlight sculptures radiating beauty, sentient tomes reciting enigmatic knowledge. As he journeyed through the wilderness, a kaleidoscope of surreal landscapes greeted him. Levitating trees sang ancient harmonies to the rhythm of cosmic heartbeat, while rivers of liquid light wove radiant streams across the terrain. Each marvel seemed to be whispering secrets to Aurelio, hinting at the undiscovered depths of his abilities. The sanctuary, nestled at the fringe of the known world, unfolded before him like a dream. Talion's surreal garden radiated an energy that was both familiar and uncanny. It was a mirror of Talion himself, enigmatic yet comforting, perpetually shifting between realities, bridging the realm of the tangible with the infinite dimensions of the ethereal. Talion, in his time-weathered form, greeted Aurelio with eyes sparkling with primordial vitality. Aurelio, his voice harmonized with countless others. Our journey into the depths of your learning continues. The tapestry of time unravels, and we must delve deeper. Under Talion's seasoned tutelage, Aurelio began to navigate the labyrinthine complexities of his powers. The echoes of ancient epochs resonated within him, unearthing old wisdoms and unveiling secrets buried deep in Zana's history. The enigma of his existence slowly started making sense, every revelation stitching one another piece of the vast cosmic puzzle. The veil was lifting, the echoes of the past whispering into Aurelio's present. And as the orb pulsated with uncanny energy, Aurelio realized that the pathway to understanding his destiny was not merely a journey forward, but also a voyage back into the heart of Zana's forgotten epochs. It was a path cloaked in shadows of the past, hinting at a destiny that was ominously colossal and far beyond his wildest imaginations. It was a path only he could tread, guided by the echoes of a past entwined with the very essence of his being. Aurelio's dreams, ever since the emergence of the orb, had been host to the ethereal dreamweavers, being spun from the fabric of time, weaving prophecies from the threads of potential futures as he plunged deeper into his studies under Talion's guidance. The encounters with these spectral entities intensified. Their presence hinted at the immensity of his destiny, their whispers seeping into his waking hours, transforming his perception of the world around him. Talion, sensing the ripples of change within his pupil, decided to reveal the ancient art of lucid invocation. He explained that this art was a way to interact with the dreamweavers consciously, to navigate the labyrinthine corridors of dreams and exact knowledge from the heart of the weave itself. Within dreams, Aurelio, Talion advised, the past, the present, and the future are woven into a single tapestry. It is the truest reflection of Zana's cosmic orchestra. Under the radiant moons of Zana, Aurelio began his practice of lucid invocation. Treading the edges of consciousness and dreams, the first few attempts were met with frustrating failure. The realm of dreams was an unpredictable sea of abstract thought and elusive realities, but Talion urged him on, stressing patience, focus, and courage as the pillars of mastering this ancient technique. Slowly, Aurelio learned to navigate the disorienting dreamscape, charting a course through the swirling nebula of thoughts and memories, the receding shadows of past events, and the emerging silhouettes of potential futures. The Dreamweaver's presence became more palpable, their whisperings more coherent, revealing glimpses of truths long shrouded in mystery. As Aurelio's skills matured, his dreams became vast stages for cosmic dramas, theaters of wisdom and knowledge. Through these dreams, he traveled through epochs, watched civilizations rise and fall, witnessed the awe-inspiring dance of celestial entities, and faced the darkness lurking in the forgotten corners of existence. Each waking dawn found Aurelio closer to decoding the cryptic dance of his destiny, the echoes of past reverberating stronger in his present. The orb of aeons pulsed rhythmically to this dance, each pulse illuminating a fragment of the path Aurelio was destined to tread. An ominous shadow was slowly unveiling, painting a colossal destiny awaiting the young anomaly, a destiny intertwined with Xana's own fate. Life in the bustling heart of the city had always been full of strange and exciting experience. But under the tutelage of Talion, Aurelio's eyes were open to wonders he could have never before imagined. The villagers, in their ignorant dismissal of Aurelio's visions, became distant echoes in the grand symphony of knowledge that was now playing before him. In this surreal realm, where the surreal met the sublime, Talion introduced Aurelio to the ancient codex of the spheres. This extraordinary artifact, crafted by the primordial Dreamweavers, contained knowledge that seeped from its ethereal pages, whispering secrets of the universe that spanned eons of time and space. It was as though each space was a mirror of the cosmos itself, reflecting endless cycles of creation and destruction. Talion guided Aurelio through the labyrinthine annals of the Codex. With each passage, they explored the young man's understanding deepened, revealing to him the extent of his power and the vital role he played in the grand tapestry of Xana's destiny. Aurelio learned about the dance of the spheres, an intricate cosmic ballet that wove together the threads of existence across the cosmos. He learned about the breath of life that Xana inhaled and exhaled, making the birth of and death of ages, the rise and fall of civilizations. The young anomaly was humbled by the vastness of this knowledge, the sheer scale of his existence within the grand scheme of the universe. Yet the more he learned, the more it became evident that a shadow loomed ominously over Xana. The orb of aeons, once a beacon of harmony, now harbored a darkness that seemed to whisper of a catastrophe looming on the horizon. As Aurelio ventured deeper into his studies, the orb's pulsating rhythm began to synchronize with his heartbeat, forming a bond that echoed through the dreamscapes and his waking reality. Gradually, Aurelio began to interpret the Dreamweaver's messages with growing clarity. Their cryptic whispers were no longer mere fragments of his dreams, they began to shape his thoughts, his actions, guiding him towards a destiny intertwined with that of Xana. Each waking dawn found him closer to unraveling the secrets held within the orb and the impending calamity it foretold. Yet the path remained shrouded in mystery and danger, promising trials that would challenge the very fabric of his existence. But guided by Talion and armed with the wisdom of the Codex, Aurelio felt a newfound resolve. The whispers of the Dreamweavers in his dreams and visions no longer invoked fear. Instead, they ignited a spark of courage, an unyielding will to confront the destiny awaiting him. The young anomaly knew that the journey ahead was going to be arduous, but he was ready to embrace it, for the sake of Xana and all of its inhabitants. In the safe confines of Talion's ethereal sanctuary, the days morphed into weeks and months. Aurelio dived deeper into the pages of the Codex of the Spheres, his passage revealing a new facet of the ancient mystery surrounding Xana and his role in its fate. Talion taught Aurelio how to tap into his own latent powers, like a sculptor chiseling a masterpiece from a block of marble. He was shown the art of dream weaving, a unique technique where one could mold reality with the threads of their imagination. He taught Aurelio to touch the dream fabric, a matrix of consciousness connecting every life form, every star and every molecule in the universe. With his newfound skill, Aurelio could tap into the collective consciousness of Xana, discerning the whisperings of its inhabitants and the subtle shifts in its cosmic rhythm. Under the serene canopy of phosphorescent leaves and blossoming surreal blooms, Aurelio also learned the language of the celestial bodies. Each star in the sky over Xana had a story to tell, and its light conveyed that story across the vast cosmic distances. Talion showed him how to listen, how to interpret the subtle flickers and pulses of starlight, to read the histories they carried across the void. Yet with every revelation came an echo of a looming threat. The shadows in the orb of aeons grew darker, and the whispers of an impending calamity grew louder in his dreams. The dire predictions of the Dreamweavers, once distant and cryptic, were now a resounding gong, an insistent murmur that filled every waking and sleeping moment. In a garden under a tree that bore fruits of luminescent crystals, Talion revealed the gravest secret of all. Aurelio, he began, his voice heavy with the weight of his words, the fabric of our reality is tearing, the seams unraveling under an ominous force. The orb of aeons. It is not just a beacon but a shield that has been keeping this force at bay, but now it weakens. A wave of dread washed over Aurelio. Yet within him, the spark of courage fanned into a flame. He was a part of Xana, his destiny entwined with its existence, and he would do all in his power to protect it. His journey was only beginning, the path winding into the unknown fraught with trials and tribulations, but he was resolved to walk it, guided by the wisdom of Talion, armed with the knowledge of the Codex, and fortified by the power of the Dreamweavers. With each passing day, the lessons under Talion's tutelage extended deeper into the night, each more surreal than the last. Aurelio was being trained not just in the physical realm, but also in the realms of the mind and spirit. The intricacies of the reality-woven matrix that constituted the very dream realms, constellations that mapped unseen pathways through time and space, constellations that held keys to hidden powers Aurelio never knew existed. Aurelio discovered the power to craft illusions from the raw essence of dreams. to bend perception and manipulate the tangible from the intangible. He was taught to walk through dreams as one would through a physical landscape, to traverse through the shared consciousness of Zana's inhabitants. Through these dream journeys, he was granted glimpses of long-forgotten eras, epochs, when Zana was but a nascent dream in the cosmic consciousness. Talion urged him to reach out to the dismissive villagers who were, unbeknownst to themselves, a part of the dream tapestry. Aurelio's earnest attempts were met with scorn at first, but as he persevered, showcasing his blossoming skills, there were more, or some at least, especially the young and the curious, who began to listen, to question, to wonder. However, these new skills came with their share of dangers. The dream fabric was home to entities both benign and malicious. Aurelio learned to defend himself against these dream predators, engaging in combat that was a dance of thoughts and psychic energies rather than physical blows. It was chess played on a board that spanned realms and dimensions, where the pieces were thoughts and intentions, and the game a perilous balancing act between creation and annihilation. And as he journeyed deeper into his training, the ominous murmurings that Talion had hinted at grew louder. In the depth of the dream realms, Aurelio saw echoes of the calamity that loomed over Zana. He saw the echoes of the orb of Aeon's dimming light, the resulting cracks in the reality fabric, and the shadowy horror that lurked beyond, waiting to breach into their world. The stakes were becoming clearer, the urgency more palpable, the path set before him all the more daunting. In his growth as a dreamweaver, Aurelio began to see the people of Zana in a new light. Their interactions with him were no longer a novelty, they seemed to regard him as a link to the intangible, to the ancient truths veiled by the common perception of reality. Under Talion's guidance, Aurelio found himself turning mentor for those who sought knowledge beyond their physical world. In the shared dreamscape of Zana, he began instructing the willing about the fluidity of dream energy, teaching them to shape it, to harness it, to contribute to Zana's collective consciousness. This ushered in a subtle metamorphosis within the city. Its pulsating energy seemed to hum with a more harmonious rhythm. Its luminescence deepened to a richer hue. When Talion deemed him ready, the seasoned mentor presented Aurelio with an ancient device, a Chronos cube, set to unlock the fluidity of time. By learning to manipulate its intricate mechanisms, Aurelio could witness the echoes of Zana's past and potential outlines of its future. The device was a window to the dimensions where time was but a murmur in the cosmic symphony. A tantalizing prospect and a formidable challenge. The citizens of Zana found themselves drawn to Aurelio's wisdom. Talion observed as the young dreamweaver's teachings started to penetrate the city's collective consciousness. They started seeing the world around them differently, no longer confined by the tangible realm. The essence of Zana began to change subtly, its pulsating energy becoming more harmonious, its radiance deepening into a shade of warmth that echoed their newfound enlightenment. Aurelio's growth and the changes he instigated intrigued Talion. However, he understood that the lad's journey was far from complete. When he judged the time right, Talion presented Aurelio with an object steeped in ancient enigma, a Chronos cube. This arcane device was a key to the timeless. The Chronos cube was an intricate creation, its surface etched with countless tiny symbols, each representing an aspect of temporal manipulation. Adept hands could twist and turn the cube to navigate the tides of time, to witness past, present and potential futures. Its function wasn't merely to display alternate timelines, but to allow the user to perceive the elasticity of time, to experience its flow as a variable, not a constant. Talion demonstrated the basic use of the cube, sending ripples through the timeline, causing reality to undulate, revealing glimpses of the past and future in a mesmerizing dance. The vision was captivating, overwhelming, a maelstrom of moments and millennia. For Aurelio, the prospect of navigating the vast seas of time was both fascinating and daunting. He began toying with the device, spending endless hours learning the meanings of the symbols, the turns, the twists, and the depressions. As he delved deeper into the mysteries of the cube, he felt as if he was peeling back the layers of his consciousness, revealing a connection with Xana that was far more profound than he had ever realized. However, the time manipulation was not without its perils. Aurelio had to tread with caution. The misuse of the cube could trigger temporal anomalies, rifts in time that could prove catastrophic. The awareness of this danger weighed heavily on him, but he was determined to master the cube, for he knew that it was a step he needed to take on his path, a step towards understanding the true nature of his existence and his role in Xana's destiny. As days melded into nights and seasons wove themselves into the tapestry of time, Aurelio continued his training with Talion. He would learn to control the intricate facets of the Chronos cube and become privy to the secrets locked within time's enigmatic embrace. But with each new discovery, a part of him longed to share his wisdom with the citizens of Xana. For he felt their dismissal of his visions in his youth and the gulf that had formed between him and his kinsfolk. One day, while immersed in his studies, Aurelio found a series of symbols on the cube that caught his attention. It depicted a scene that seemed eerily familiar yet unsettling, a city glowing with ethereal light, creatures of impossible beauty and complexity, yet over it all hung a foreboding darkness. A churning vortex, a maelstrom of negative energy, seemed to be devouring the light, the life, the very essence of Xana. He turned to Talion, his face the picture of confusion and fear. The old shapeshifter studied these symbols and the image they depicted, his countenance hardening as he grasped the gravity of the situation. He spoke in a voice barely above a whisper. "I was afraid this would surface sooner or later. This is the prophecy of the devouring dark. It's a moment that has been foretold since the dawn of Xana, a catastrophe that threatens to swallow our reality." As Aurelio grappled with this revelation, Talion continued. "In the heart of Xana resides a power of unimaginable potential. The Heartlight, if the devouring dark ever succeeded in reaching this source, it could spell doom for Xana and every living entity here." In the midst of this grave revelation, Aurelio found a sense of clarity. He now understood why he was chosen, why he was different. He wasn't just a dreamweaver, he was the sentinel of Xana, chosen to safeguard their world from the impending catastrophe. Now he realized that the task ahead was larger and more critical than he had ever imagined. With renewed determination, Aurelio embraced his destiny. His training took a new intensity. His focus shifted toward understanding and thwarting the prophecy. The Chronos Cube was not just a tool to navigate time, but a compass to guide him through the challenges that lay ahead. He was ready to shoulder the fate of Xana, for he was its guardian, its beacon against the devouring dark. Aurelio, now aware of his mission and the immense threat looming over Xana, learned from Talion how to enhance and control his visions. The elder entity showed Aurelio how to thread his consciousness into the intricate web of time, allowing him to cast his mind into the past, present and even future. Like a cosmic puppeteer manipulating ethereal strings. Talion then exposed Aurelio to the secret of the Heart Light, a pulsating force of energy at Xana's core. Its radiant glow was a beacon of life, a potent reservoir of power and the beating heart of their reality. The Heart Light, Talion explained, was not just a symbol of hope, but also the object of the Devouring Dark's desire. While training with Talion, Aurelio began to explore the subtle arts of shifting reality. Inspired by Talion's ability to change forms, he experimented with the malleability of his own existence. Morphing into myriad shapes, Aurelio discovered he could emulate entities he'd seen in his dreams, from mighty leviathans gliding through rivers of liquid light to diminutive, shimmering sprites hiding among spectral flora. But Aurelio was not satisfied with only emulating, he wanted to create. As the days stretched into weeks and the weeks into months, Aurelio pushed the boundaries of his abilities. He birthed creatures of ethereal beauty and complexity, their forms a living testament to his growing prowess. They roamed the grounds of Talion's surreal garden, a garden that was gradually evolving into a menagerie of Aurelio's imagination. Although Aurelio found joy in his creations, the looming prophecy of the Devouring Dark weighed heavily on him. His dreams were often consumed by visions of the coming cataclysm, a silent and insidious tide of darkness inching ever closer to the heart of Xana. The nightmares were a constant reminder of his duty, a somber bell tolling in the tranquil oasis of his creativity. Aurelio often contemplated his people's dismissal of his earlier visions. Their scorn had scarred him, leaving a bitter residue, but he understood now more than ever that his responsibility was not to convince the skeptics, but to protect them, even if they never recognized his efforts. He was, after all, Xana's guardian, its hope against the Devouring Dark. One day, amidst a lesson on weaving dream energy, Talion paused. With his eyes old as cosmos, he stared at Aurelio for a long moment before finally breaking the silence. Your dreams, Aurelio, they carry the weight of forgotten past and shrouded futures, but you must not let them weigh you down. At Talion's words, Aurelio felt a ripple of understanding. His visions were not mere abstractions, but a bridge connecting Xana's history to its destiny. He felt his heart quicken, his mind expanding, as he realized the profundity of his place in the grand tapestry of existence. Talion, noticing Aurelio's epiphany, smiled knowingly. Indeed, your vision holds much power, but so does your creativity, he said, gesturing towards Aurelio's menagerie of crafted creatures. Playfully scampering through the garden, balance is key. Your dreams inform you, but it's your actions, your creations that shape reality. Aurelio's eyes widened in realization. Then, the Devouring Dark, is it possible for me to dream it away? The smile on Talion's face faded slightly. No, my young ward, he said, his voice heavy with age-old wisdom and a hint of sadness. We cannot merely dream away our nightmares, but with the right understanding and control, we can shape our response to them. The teachings were challenging, not merely for the complexity of their nature, implications they bore. Aurelio's dreams were more than visions. They were a gift, a responsibility. He would bear the weight of Xana's fate, and it was up to him to shape it. With his newfound understanding, his resolve only strengthened. Together they ventured deeper into the mysteries of existence, with Talion leading Aurelio through the pathways of ancient wisdom, and Aurelio lighting up those paths with his youthful creativity. Each day brought new revelations, challenging Aurelio's perceptions, reshaping his understanding of himself and his connection with Xana. The revelations felt like a constant downpour, but Aurelio embraced each with an open heart and a thirsty mind. His spirit was invigorated, his heart brimming with newfound prose. He could feel the strings of destiny intertwined with his own existence, a melody that sang of hope and strength in the face of oncoming darkness. In the midst of his newfound knowledge, Aurelio discovered that he was not merely a student but the co-creator of this grand symphony of existence. Talion was his guide, but it was Aurelio's melody that would reshape the destiny of Xana. And with each day, his melody grew stronger, echoing through the reality-warping landscape and into the heart of the coming storm. Within Talion's tranquil garden, bathed in a soft glow from the plants of myriad hues, Aurelio's education took an unexpected turn. One day, the guide shifted his form into a winged creature, its feathers shimmering with incandescent light. He took Aurelio skyward, where the nebulous veil of night sky blanketed Xana. Aurelio, Talion began, his voice echoing with the whispers of countless lifetimes. Your gift allows you to tap into the river of time, but to command your dreams you must first understand the essence of time itself. To demonstrate, Talion wove a complex pattern of stars, creating a celestial illustration of time's ebb and flow. The glowing constellation pulsed like a heartbeat, expanding and contracting in rhythm with the underlying currents of existence. The past, present and future are not as linear as one might perceive. Talion explained, think of them as three strands in a grand tapestry of existence, each influencing and being influenced by the other. Over the days, Aurelio studied under the stars, learning to perceive time as a fluid spectrum rather than a rigid line. This understanding allowed him to explore his visions with newfound depth, navigating the intricate layers of history, present events, and potential futures. His explorations led to a startling revelation. His visions were not the contemptuous figments of imagination that the village dismissed, but glimpses into the timeless river, the divine symphony of Xana's destiny. This validation was both a relief and a source of unease. His dreams held great importance, but they also bore an overwhelming responsibility. As the days turned into weeks, Aurelio immersed himself into the teachings, his understanding of his powers growing by leaps and bounds. Yet even as he learned to navigate the time weave, he could not shake off a lingering dread, a sense of impending storm born from the depths of his darkest dreams. In response to his unspoken fears, Talion simply offered, remember Aurelio, storms may be powerful, but it's the rain that nurtures life. Even in your nightmares, there may lie seeds of hope. With these words echoing in his heart, Aurelio stepped forward on his path, his resolve stronger than ever, his dreams, his creations, his connection with Xana, they all interweaved to form a tale of change, growth and resilience, and Aurelio was ready to face whatever the river of time held for him.